right, my time's on. Gosh, you guys, I'm so excited, seriously. From the moment that I watched some of the videos about what this event was about, I got so excited, which is not, I get excited, but not totally normal. Just where you guys are at, like it reminded me of when I was where you were at, which wasn't that long ago. But I was where you were at, and I knew God was calling me to more, right? He was calling me to more. I had no idea what that was, but I decided to just press into him and seek him and figure out what the heck he was calling me to do. So I was absorbing myself in scripture. I was absorbing myself in worship music. I was going to events like this, and I was just doing everything I could to just like, okay, Lord, what do I do? Where do I go? What am I to be, you know? And it was during that time that I went on a missions trip to Venezuela. Our church has a partnership, or had a partnership at the time with Venezuela. So a big group of us went to do a youth conference in Venezuela, and I was about 18 when I went. And it was very surreal. We got there, and you know, we traveled 24 hours to get there. You're exhausted by the time you get there. I took Spanish in high school, but that was like, gone by the time I got there. So we had a host family who couldn't speak any English and no Spanish in my brain at all. And so we're just trying to communicate. It's exhausting. It's overwhelming. So we go through the week, and it's like that. I can't communicate with the people. We can't communicate with the people, but God's love and his power just came throughout that week. And he breathed on us, he moved over us, and he united us as one. We didn't have to speak the same language. We didn't have to know each other's names. We just knew that God loved us, that he was with us, and it brought out like this love and this unity. And there was a point at the end of the week when it was overwhelming. The love that was in the room. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that, but it was overwhelming, just how much I loved these people. Like I loved them, right? So I was so overwhelmed that I actually had to walk out of the building just to have a minute, and I decided to pray and tell the Lord how I felt. So I was just, Lord, I don't ever want to leave this place. And right in that moment, I heard the audible voice of God, and he said, what do you think heaven's going to be like? But right now, I need you to be with my people. And it was like the peace of the Lord came over me in that moment, so strong, so strong. And I knew that the Lord was speaking to me, and that was him. And I don't know if any of you have ever had a fear of heaven. Anyone? And eternity? Like, we're going to be in heaven for eternity, okay? Eternity. What if I don't like it? What if I don't like it, right? I mean, that's a real question, right? Like, what if I don't like it? What if I get bored and I'm there for eternity? I can't leave, right? So I had this anxiety within me about eternity. Like, I would get serious anxiety. Well, I'll tell you, from that moment, that peace of God came over me, and you guys, that anxiety and that fear, gone, fully removed. I am so excited to go to heaven, y'all. Like, seriously, what I experienced in that place, not knowing these people, it didn't matter, because God's glory and his power and his love and his presence was so unifying. It was so fulfilling that it didn't matter. And I didn't want to leave that place ever. So anyway, peace. Moving on, heard the voice. Okay, I'm losing my point. So, when I was asked to speak, I heard right away that same voice, audible. And this, I hear God a lot, see him through pictures and all those things, but this was the second time that I really heard God's voice. And what I feel like he wanted me to share tonight with you is, my children know my voice. My children know my voice. And if you know me, I also get a little emotional, so give me a minute. Okay, I'm good. So I'm a mom, and I have 2 little kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And my daughter's 3, and she's my youngest. And when she was born, she came out crying, you know, normal. It's what we want. We want them to be crying and all of that. But they handed her to me, and I looked at her, and I just talked to her. And in that moment, She had total peace that came over her, and she tried with all her might to just look toward the sound of my voice, because she knew my voice. She knew her mother's voice. She'd been with me for 9 to 10 months. Every move I made, every sound I made, every song I sung, everything. She knew who I was. She knew my voice. My children, they know my voice. We are God's children. We know his voice. We know when he speaks. And you guys, the noise of this world only gets louder, all right? It only gets louder. I can tell you from experience, in the world we live in, as you get more responsibility, as you build your family, the noise of our world only gets louder, right? So in this time, going back to what I was talking about at the beginning, when I went on this missions trip and was like absorbing myself in scripture and in worship music, I was building a foundation, right, of learning God's voice and how he speaks and how he moves, how he speaks to me. It was foundational for me. It was foundational for me. So now in the noise, the growing noise of this world, we have TV, we have, iPhones, iPads, we have all this stuff coming at us, and I have my little amazing kids that are super chatty, right? And so they're always talking. So the noise of this world, but I know, I have that foundation to go back to. I know how God speaks. I know his truths. So for tonight, I believe what God just wants to encourage you in is, first of all, you know his voice. You know when he speaks. You know when he speaks. But some of you need to build your foundation. You need to build your foundation. You need to be in the Word. You need to know the truth about the Father. You need to know his truths, because you will pull from those things later on in life. And the other thing that I feel very heavily that is for a lot of you actually is the word cautious. You are too cautious. You are too cautious. You know when the Lord speaks and he's asking you to move. John Wimber said faith is spelled R-I-S-K, risk, right? So he wants us to hear his voice and step out in faith and take a risk. Praying for one another, going where he's calling you to do. John 10:27 says, "My sheep hear my voice. I know them and they follow me. My children hear my voice. I know them and they follow me." So I just want you to sit with that tonight. All right? Step out in faith. Take risks. Don't be cautious. It's worth it. And the more you do it, the more he'll give you. And the more comfortable you'll get, So just do it. I have 20 seconds left. I'm pretty good. That's all I got. There you go.